Ayo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Genshin Impact video, and today we're going to be reacting to the character demo of Heizou, which was released like 3 days ago. I'm sorry about that. For those who didn't watch my previous video, I'm currently sick right now. If you can't tell from the tone of my voice, I'm having some throat problems right now. But yeah, I am going to be reacting to this demo, and after that, we're going to be talking about his kit, as well as the new banners that are be coming to 2.8. So stick around, and hopefully you guys enjoy the video. Alright, let's do this.
The name Shikanoin Heizou, sharpest and most successful detective of the Tenryou Commission. Detective agencies spend too much time investigating extramarital affairs and tracking down runaway pets. And it goes without saying that fighting thugs and fetching things isn't my kind of work. A true detective uses their smarts to outwit criminals at every single turn. You keep following the clues until you find the culprit. And you don't stop until every last piece of the puzzle is in place.
Frickin' Sherlock. I'm joking. I like the violin. It's really nice.
There are always those people who resort to violence at the very last second. As if that'll somehow solve their problems.
I love his attack animations. They look so beautiful, by the way. Look at this. It's so cool. Like, the coolest attack animation for any Catalyst character, dude. Freaking Falcon Punch right here. We'll talk more about that, too.
Confess!
Very cool. Very cool. Isn't that the
Let's just hope the rain hasn't washed all the clues away.
Gang member? Oh, there you go. Well, there you have it. That was the Heizou demo. Alright, so here's the JP demo. Ah, that's what he sounds like. Yeah, this makes sense. He sounds really young. Sounds really high pitched though. For...
手がかりをつなげて真犯人に迫り、自らの手で破命に最後のひとかけらをはめ込む。まったく最後の最後で武力を使って抵抗する人がいるんだよね。でもそれが通用するなんて思ったら大間違いだ。
I like this ability. It's really cool. I always wanted a character who can charge their punch. That's really cool. And his burst launches himself in the air and then kick and dealing AoE animal damage. It's so sick, bro. It's so sick. So he's using Solar Pearl. Okay. Alright. Cool demo. Alrighty, folks, so we have just reacted to the Heizou demo. Now we're going to get straight into his kit. I'll link the website down in the description just for all the stuff you want to read. But for now, let's deep dive into Heizou's stuff. Alright, name's Shikanoin Heizou, sharpest and most successful detective of the Tenryou Commission. Alright, so this is what he looks like, and yeah, he looks like kind of a mix of Goro and a mix of Kazuha. Although that's what it kind of reminds me of. A young prodigy detective from Tenryou Commission. His senses are sharp and his thoughts are clear, so he's basically Sherlock. So the English voice actor is Kiran Reagan, and JP voice actor is Ikuchi Yuichi. Okay. His vision is animal, obviously. Constellation is service minor. Weapon is catalyst, affiliation is Tenryou Commission, and his birthday is July 24th, which just passed. So, rip. He didn't come out before his birthday. Here are his Ascension materials, and as you can see, you want the Oni Kabutos for the Exploration Ascension materials, you want Treasure Hoarders for the Character and Weapon Ascension materials, and then you want the Chasm Onyx for the Boss materials. For the Talent Books, you want Transience, and yeah, same applies, and the Write-In materials as well, which makes sense. Alright, so let's look into his talents real quick. So their normal attacks is called Fudo Style Martial Arts. Performs up to 5 fisticuffs. Empowered by a mighty wind, dealing animal damage. What's really cool is all of his attacks are animal, because again, this guy is a Catalyst character, which is why this whole melee attack animation works. So as you can see, the first 5 combos here, that's his regular normal attacks. And dude, that looks super clean. And then this is his charge attack. Oh, he kicks up in the air. Wow, that's really clean. I really hope you utilize his normal attacks instead of his elemental skill and burst. That'd be really cool. Alright, so for his elemental skill, it is called the Heartstopper Strike. So they actually mentioned this in the live stream. There's 2 ways to use his elemental skill. You have a tap version, which wields a swift winds to launch a Heartstopper Strike that deals animal damage. So you do instantaneous animal damage, and when you hold it, you charge energy to unleash even a stronger blow. You'll obtain the declension effect while charging, which will increase the power of the Heartstopper Strike. When the skill button is released on the skill duration ends, he will strike forward, dealing animal damage. So basically, the longer you charge, you gain stacks, and you can gain up to a maximum of 4 stacks, and the more stacks you gain, the stronger the damage will be, as well as the AoE of his elemental skill. So it's a really, really cool ability, and most likely you're going to be using this a lot. Declension increase the power of the next Heartstopper Strike, max 4 stacks. When you possess 4 Declension strikes, the conviction effect will be produced, which will cause the next Heartstopper Strike to be even stronger and have a larger AoE. Just exactly what I said. And then for his elemental burst, it is called the Windmaster Kick, which, by the way, this animation looks so cool, man. So he leaps into the air and uses the Voodoo-style Vacuum Slugger and kicks his opponents. The Vacuum Slugger will explode upon hit and create an arresting wind tunnel that pulls in nearby objects and opponents, dealing AoE animal damage. When Voodoo-style Vacuum Slugger hits enemies affected by Hydro, Pyro, Cryo, or Electro, it affects them with Windmaster Iris. Moments later, Windmaster Iris explodes and displays, dealing AoE damage of the corresponding elemental type. Voodoo-style Vacuum Slugger can afflict a maximum of 4 enemies with the Windmaster Iris. A single enemy cannot be afflicted by irises of different elemental types at the same time. Very, very cool. So his elemental burst, basically, for those who I guess didn't get all of that, he lifts himself in the air, kicks down, deals AoE animal damage, and then you have a second AoE animal damage that will be infused to the main 4 elements, which is Hydro, Pyro, Cryo, and Electro. As you can see here, boom, AoE first attack, and then the second attack, he infuses Hydro. Man, that's pretty much it for Heizou's stuff. Very, very simple. This guy looks like he's just going to be a really, really fun character to be playing as an animal unit. That's going to be majority of the times on field. Hopefully you get to utilize his normal attacks a lot, so you can be swirling constantly, as well as doing his elemental skill and his elemental burst. Alright, so the new banners just came out, and it's revealed that Kazuha and Klee's rerun banner is going to have, well, obviously Heizou, because they already officially announced it, and it's going to be Toma and Ningguang. So let's briefly talk about the 4 stars first, and obviously Kazuha and Klee, if they are still worth rolling for. So let's get on to it. So Heizou, it's really way too early to say what he can do, because compared to like Cookie as well as Goro, like those guys were more kind of defined, but Heizou looks unique. So as a character right now, he's really hard to say whether he's gonna be good or not, because already we have a really powerful 4-star animal character, which is Sucrose, right? So that's my only issue, is like, is Heizou going to be an alternate option you can use against Sucrose, or is Sucrose just going to be better, but Heizou is just more of a niche character? That's what I'm kind of concerned about for Heizou, but hopefully Heizou is as good as how he looks, and hopefully he can offer more than just, I guess, doing a lot of damage for animal. Alright, so up next for Ningguang. Ningguang's good. Ningguang can be a Geo main / sub DPS and burst DPS. She can basically deal Geo damage, and she's also a catalyst user, so she has a lot of ton of weapon options, which makes her free to play, friendly, and also whale friendly. So Ningguang overall, she's a very, very strong 4-star damage dealer, and I personally like her a lot. Only thing is like her attack combination, like the way you play her on field is sometimes a little clunky, but like once you get used to it, then Ningguang can perform really, really well, but just not that huge of a priority 4-star character that I would rank. She's probably like a rank below the best 4-star characters that I've ranked above, which are like Xingqiu, Bennett, Fischl, etc. As for Toma, he's our Pyro Shielder, and that's basically all he does. Toma, he's okay. He does initial Pyro Slash with his elemental skill that'll generate energy, as well as his elemental burst would be summoning his shield. And what's cool about this shield is it's a small hitbox shield, but then when you deal a lot of normal attacks, then the shield strength would stack up to I think like 5 stacks. So his shield strength will get better the more normal attacks you do. So Toma's shield is good, and that's all he provides. He also does an AoE pyro damage from his shield too, which I guess is cool, but for Hu Tao's specific comps, it's kind of sometimes not good because it would be interrupting Hu Tao's vaporize attacks. So overall, Toma, he's as cool as he looks, he's very niche. Like as a sub pyro character, you end up going to be always using Bennett or Xiangling. But yeah, overall, these 4 stars are, I guess they're okay. Now let's get into the most important part of the video, which is obviously Kazuha and Klee. So let's talk about Klee first. So Klee is a pyro 5-star DPS slash sub DPS. So I actually don't have too much experience with Klee because I actually don't have Klee on any of my accounts, but Klee as a character, she can deal a lot of pyro DPS. She's still like can perform decent amount of damage, and she can also offer some utility with the more constellations she has, which obviously isn't that free-to-play friendly, but as a, you know, whale character, she is a pretty solid character to have. Her attack animation is probably one of the most unique and cutest in the game. It's just kind of like a comfort character. Like if you like Klee a lot, then you definitely will enjoy playing Klee. But is she worth pulling for? I think Klee is definitely not character worth pulling for unless you really want Klee on your account and you just been dying to see her again. Then yes, go for it. You go for the characters you like, of course. But if in terms of meta, she's kind of okay. So Klee's overall pretty strong, but not a character that is worthy of a pull compared to the next character we're going to talk about, which, speaking of which, that is Mr. Keidahara Kazuha. Kazuha is finally officially confirmed to be rerun, and yes, I said it in the previous video for the other banners we're summoning for, if Kazuha is close to a must pull, I still believe he is still the closest character to being a must pull. This guy is just absolutely insane. He has pretty much everything in so much value in his kit. His elemental skill is a crowd control, also can double swirl, as well as being able to dodge attacks. It's just a really fun ability that's great for combat as well as exploration. This guy is just super insane and as well as fun, and his elemental burst basically does AoE animal damage per tick that infuses with the main 4 elements. And this guy also not only is an animal unit, which makes him be able to run 4 pieces of Iridescent, which is extremely broken in this game. One of his passives gives elemental damage bonus based on his elemental mastery. So the more you stack up for elemental mastery on this guy, like Sucrose, the more elemental damage bonus he'll give to your party members each time Kazuha swirls, which is why this guy is ridiculous, because this guy has so much potential in buffing your party members that they'll deal so much damage because of this guy in your party. I guarantee you right now, you get Kazuha, you're gonna do way better in Spiral Abyss. And this guy is just also really fun to play, and he's great for exploration too. So overall, do I think Kazuha's worth pulling for when there's Sumeru coming up? This is really hard to answer, to be honest. I think it depends. Like if you're in a situation where it's like me, for example, where I have guaranteed pity and I'm like really close to pity as well, then oh yeah, 100% go for Kazuha. But if you already have Kazuha, you honestly don't really need any of his constellations, although they're really nice upgrades, because like already he gets pretty much everything in C0. But I think for his constellations, they are decent. Up to C2, I would stop for all the dolphins and whales out there. For those who has a C0 Kazuha, yeah, pretty much that's all I got. For those who just doesn't even have Kazuha and, you know, wants to save gems for Sumeru, that's gonna be tough. I think you can still consider pulling for this guy, because this guy will still make a huge difference even when Dendro will likely change the meta. Kazuha's gonna still be a huge impact for your characters regardless, even if the interactions will change. So are these banners worth pulling for? If you don't have Kazuha, then yeah, that's the only reason I would pull on these banners at this point. If you are pulling on this banner, I would only pull because of Kazuha. But if you already own Kazuha, I would suggest to skip 100% all these banners for these new characters that are confirmed to be coming in the game. Alright, so as for the weapon banner, I'll quickly go through this real quick. So Alright, so this is a Minister Waltz. I don't know how to pronounce this, but it's Fischl's bow. Yeah, overall this weapon is not good. It's just a physical DPS bow that's just only for Fischl. Most of the times you're gonna end up doing an electro build instead of a physical DPS Fischl. Overall, it's not a good bow that I would use even for Fischl personally, so it's alright. Alley Flash, this thing is a stat stick because it currently has the highest base attack for a 4-star, which is a 620. I'm currently using this on Bennett. It's so much value because again, it's like one of the highest base attack weapons in the game and the highest 4-star base attack weapon in the game. So I personally think this is just a Bennett weapon, but I mean, other than that, like, it's still a solid weapon you could use on anybody. For the Witch Sith, it's good for very powerful burst DPS or characters that's able to snapshot, because Witch Sith offers 3 powerful buffs. Only 1 out of 3 you will be able to receive. It also has crit damage, so it's actually a really, really powerful catalyst as a 4-star. It's also like one of the best catalysts you can use in the game. So with Sith, it's pretty good. Favonius Lance is really good as well. Favonius Lance has always been like one of the best weapons in the game. It's just so good on like so many other spirit characters. Pretty much you can use this on any spirit characters. That's how good it is. And yeah, I really don't have much to say. It just generates energy and it's really, really nice. And finally, for Pain Slasher, this weapon is not good. Alright, cool. So for the 5-star weapons, we have the Lost Prayer to the Sacred Winds and Freedom Sworn. Alright, so for the stats for the Lost Prayer Sacred Winds, it has crit rate, which gives you at level 90 33.1%, and for the base attack it is 608. For the passive, it increases movement speed by 10% when in the battle, gain an 8% elemental damage bonus every 4 seconds, max 4 stacks, lasts until the character falls or leaves combat. So this passive is what makes this weapon kinda not that good, because of how long it takes for you to receive each stacks, and then to gain the max stacks, it's, you know, it takes like 16 seconds, which realistically that's a lot of field time, especially if you're trying to rotate your characters a lot. So that's like the downside for this weapon. But when you do gain max stacks, you do get like a crazy amount of elemental damage bonus, which is a pretty massive buff, as well as the crit rate too. So this weapon overall is great. However, this is already available inside the standard permanent banner, so I wouldn't be scouting the weapon banner just for this weapon, especially since there are like better catalysts that's you know, limited that you can already pull, which is the Yaimiko catalyst. I forgot what it was called, but you can also use that one too, which gives you elemental damage bonus from your elemental skill and also has crit damage. Alright, and for Freedom Sworn, which is Kazuha's signature weapon. Space attack is 608. Secondary stat is Elemental Mastery, which gives about 198. That is a lot. And for the passive, it's called the Revolutionary Chlore, a part of the Millennium movement that wanders amidst in the winds, increased damage by 10%. When the character wielding this weapon triggers elemental reactions, they gain a sigil of rebellion. That already is super easy for Kazuha because you're going to be doing elemental reactions. This effect can be triggered once every 0.5 seconds. It can be triggered even if said character is not on the field. When he possesses 2 sigils of rebellion, all of them can be consumed and all nearby party members will be obtained. Millennium Movement, Song of Resistance for 12 seconds. Millennium Movement, Song of Resistance, increases normal charge plunging attack damage by 60% and increase attack by 20%. Once the effect is triggered, you will not gain sigils of rebellion for 20 seconds of the many effects of the Millennium Movement buffs at the same time will not stack. Okay, cool. So this sword, basically after you do elemental reactions, you will receive normal charge and plunging attack damage by 16%, as well as increasing attack by 20% to not only yourself, but to all of your party members. So this is a really, really nice, powerful support weapon that you can use for Kazuha, as well as actually a decent amount of characters. As long as they are constantly reaction with this sword, then this sword actually brings a lot of value as a support weapon. But is this sword a must pull for Kazuha? I think that's a no. As good as this weapon is, Kazuha already gets like so many free-to-play options that you can use, like Iron Sting or Favonius Sword, that I wouldn't even bother trying to get this sword unless you're like a absolute whale and you're trying to like deal the most damage with your party members. But yeah, although the buffs are really, really good, I would probably you know, stick away from this weapon banner, because again, Sumeru is literally around the corner, and this banner that they intentionally put for Kazuha is intentional bait. So I would only summon for these banners if you just don't have Kazuha. That's literally the only reason. But for now, I would stick away from this weapon banner. Again, unless you're close to pity, or if you're a whale, that's fine. You do whatever with your gems. But for now, I would stick away from this weapon as a free-to-play player. and I would just probably go for just Kazuha if you don't have Kazuha. But yeah, that's that for overall for the new banners. So overall, do I think the weapon banner is worth pulling for? Honestly, it doesn't look that bad. Like there's like 3 out of the 5 weapons 4 stars that are actually decent, which is most of the times that's how it is. And then 2 5-star weapons are actually not bad. Kazuha's sword is good though, but I wouldn't pull just for Kazuha just because there's a lot of Kazuha swords. I think this weapon banner is a skip. Even if like it doesn't look that bad, this doesn't look that bad to me, but like I still would skip this because again, Sumeru is around the corner. If I have to remind you guys, all these new characters are coming out, and I would probably save your gems because Sumeru will likely be pretty massive. That is not Sumeru, but yeah, all these new characters that are coming, they're gonna be pretty huge. And yeah, that's all I got for today's video. Make sure you guys hit that like button as well as subscribe to my channel. And yeah, I'll be posting more a little bit tonight. All right, peace out.